She said, "You'll never get in there." And she told me to apply to other schools that were not integrated at that time, and I didn't have a problem with that, but I was able to go to that counselor and tell her I got accepted at the University of Miami, and I have a 4-year ride. And she turned red. I was Judith Diana Williams, and I was the fourth child of 8. It was just a very loving environment. Not to say we didn't have a lot, but we knew we were loved. And we didn't know we were poor, okay? Because we always ate, not even considering, we might have had spaghetti 2 nights or whatever, but we just knew we were loved and cared for and not abused in any way. And I believe that that's where some of the confidence that I had came from. I'm a post-World War II baby. So I was born in 1950. My father went to the World War II, was stationed in Europe. And my mom was working in the airplane with airplanes and was a riveter. And while she was carrying me, she was still working. We lived in Copiague and Amityville, which are small towns, and downtown was called the Village. They're small. You think of New York, everybody thinks of New York City. When we went to New York City as a trip, just like people that come to New York. We didn't go to New York City often. But we lived on Long Island, and I didn't know about racism and all of those things until I moved to Florida. And going to Florida at 9, 10 years old, it was a culture shock. The schools were segregated. The high school that I went to was integrated. I was the second class that integrated the school. In fact, the governor at that time stood on the steps of the high school and said that no black children will be coming in here. He didn't use black either. But we graduated. There were definitely challenges, and I always say that God gives us growth opportunities. So you get through one opportunity and you are able to get through the next. You got skills for the next one. So integrating and going through the mountains and the valleys of integrating high school prepared me for college. There was a lot of student activism and civil rights. People knew that if you protested and shut down things, somebody might have to go to jail. And they did. So when it came time that folks had to go to jail, only the guys went to jail, And they got out. But you got to be strategic. You have to think things through, not just be hot-headed and just jump up and do something. You can learn in situations like that as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. So the times that we were in school taught a lot of lessons, not just from books. A lot of students made it and have made significant impacts on society and in this country. You don't give up just because somebody says no, especially if it's something that you see that you want to do, and it's a good thing. It was a real growing experience, but it was also an empowering experience. The fact that we made it through that time of civil rights is a blessing from God, As a result, some did not make it. Yeah, but God. It's a blessing to see His handiwork on our lives, Like I said, it's 50-some years later. 50-something years later. But God is still moving. And you see the change in people's lives and change in people's heart for people who would take a stand and not back down.